Hey guys, I'm here with Coach Keith Maple of Helena High's wrestling team. Thanks for being with us today. So can you tell us a little bit about wrestling? We feel like not a lot of people are familiar with the sport.
Correct. Briefly, this is kind of how wrestling works. You can have individual, winners, and you can have team winners. So what happens during the year for wrestling is that we have what we call dual matches or tri matches or quad matches. And then as the season goes on, we have tournaments. And we've actually had 2 tournaments the past 3 weeks. And of course we had one snowed out last week. But basically what happens is an individual kid can actually win a state championship as well as a team. So it's an individual sport, but it's also a team sport. So that's kind of how wrestling works.
Well, that's interesting. Can you give us some information on where to begin? I mean, if a kid wants to become a wrestler, when does it start? Is there Pee-wee leagues for it?
There is. There's several at Vestavia. There's several at Hoover. We have the Warrior Camp, which is right down here in Alabaster, where a lot of our kids started off and are still wrestling there through off-season stuff. So.
Okay, that's nice. Is there a Helena Middle School wrestling team?
There is. They wrestled with us actually last night against Jasper and Pelham, and they had a tri match as well as the varsity guys had a tri match. So we kind of wrestled together.
Well, let me ask you this: you hear a lot about losing weight for wrestling matches. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh yes, absolutely. Now in the state of Alabama, and it's been going on for the past 15 to 18 years, we have a weight management program that is basically taken care of through track. So each kid has a weight management program that they have to stick by, and if they don't hit that weight, I pretty much don't let them wrestle. You know, when it comes to taking care of yourself with nutrition, it comes with a nutrition plan, it comes with everything. So when I hand it to them, they're good to go. They just go home, and at this date, if they want to drop weight, they've got to wait to a certain date to get to that. And that has been in control for about 15, 18 years now.
That sounds like a lot of discipline to put on a high schooler.
Absolutely, but we have some great kids that do it. We have some little kids that do a great job, and I say little kids, a 10th grader, as well as a 9th grader. But yeah, they're very disciplined with it.
So how long has the wrestling program been going on at Helena High School?
This is our 4th season. So for 4 seasons, we've been doing very well. We've had several that have qualified for state. We've had several that have placed in state. As of right now, our best placer is Nathan Dunaway, who placed 2nd. And he's our best placer. And he was a 9th grader last year when he did that at 170.
Wow, that's impressive. So a little birdie told me that you used to be a wrestler yourself. Do you have any experiences you can tell us about?
Well, I can. Let's see. I'm trying to think of one real quick. I can tell you. I do remember this. Wrestling in the state finals in Georgia. I wrestled against a young man named George Brewer. He was also an all-SEC defensive lineman that next year after we graduated. Unfortunately, I didn't win, but it was a great experience. He ended up beating me 5-3. And I will tell this story, and I'm probably telling it myself. At the end of the match, my mom, of course I busted my nose, but at the end of the match, my mom ran on there and she was like, you know, making sure her baby was okay. But anyway, that's a quick story.
That's pretty embarrassing. Well, just a couple more questions. How long does a wrestling season run? When does it begin and end? Things like that.
Wrestling season actually begins mid-November and goes all the way through the end of February. So make sure you come out and support the Huskies.
All right, well, thanks so much for talking to us today. And you heard it here, guys. You got a couple more months to come out and support the Huskies.